सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जनार्दन जगन्नाथ शङ्खचक्रधर सर्वेशा जनार्दन जगन्नाथ शङ्खचक्रधर सर्वेशा श्रुतजनपाला श्रीनिवास कलियुगवरद श्री वेङ्कटेश श्रुतजनपाला श्रीनिवास कलियुगवरद श्री वेङ्कटेश श्रीधरा केशवा श्रीधरा केशवा श्रीकर शुभकर ऋषिकेशा जनार्दन जगन्नाथ शङ्खचक्रधर सर्वेशा अगणित गुणगण अनन्तरूपा आनन्दामृत अमित प्रतापा अगणित गुणगण अनन्तरूपा आनन्दामृत अमित प्रतापा श्रीधरा केशवा Sridhara Keshava Shrikara Shubhakara Rishikesha Janardana Jagannatha Shankha-chakra-dhara sarvesha Shankha-chakra-dhara sarvesha Om Namo Narayanaya 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 Sachidanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha Yam Pravrajantamanupetamakrityam Dvaipayano Virahakatara Ajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravobhineduhu Tam Sarvabhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi. So yesterday we saw a little bit of story. So what is that story? So Suta Rishi and Shaunaka Rishi discussion is going on. So the question raised by Shaunaka Rishi was, when did Sanakadi Rishis meet Narada Rishi. So then, one day when all these Sanakadi Rishis, they had gathered in Vishalapuri to have satsang, then they saw Narada Rishi. So what was his condition? Highly tensed, worried. He was hurrying towards some place. So then Sanakadi Rishis asked, "Where are you going? What happened to you? Why are you sad?" So Narada Rishi said, "I have visited so many Tirtha Kshetras, Pushkara, Prayaga, Harikshetra, Kurukshetra, etc. I went there for some peace of mind, but I got totally disturbed because Kali Yuga is going on now." And then he described what all are happening. And then when he reached Yamuna, what did he see? One young lady, very sad. By her side, two old people were lying down, unconscious, breathing heavily. She was trying to wake them up. She was fanned by so many ladies there. So Naradji, out of curiosity, went near to find out what was happening. And then this lady immediately got up. She realized this is the great sage Narada. So then she narrated her story. Who is she? Bhakti Mata. And who are these old people? Jnana and Vairagya. And all those ladies, they are all the sacred rivers. Yes. So she said, I am this Bhakti. I was born in Dravida Desha, grew up in Karnataka. Here and there I got honored in Maharashtra. But when I went to Gujarat, I became infirm, weak. And what is the reason given there? Because of Pakanda. Gujarat is generally known for business, isn't it? So wherever this business is there, bhakti gets a jolt. Lakshmi thrives, but Bhakti Mata. But anyway, when we see the symbolic meaning, we will get more clarity. So then she, along with her children, ran away from there. Then she went to Vrindavana. In Vrindavana, she became young. But what about the children? They continue to remain in the very same state. So then her question to Narada Rishi is, why is this happening? So then Narada Rishi said, "O Devi, it is all because of Kali Yuga. Because of the effect of Vrindavana, you became young because in Vrindavana there is some bhakti. But as far as Jnana and Vairagya is concerned, nobody is there to, nobody values them, and therefore their state continues to be the same." So then Bhakti Mata asked, if this Kali Yuga is such a terrible age, why is it that Parikshit spared Kali Yuga? There was a time when he could have killed this Kali. Why did God allow this Kali Yuga to happen? So then Narada Rishi said, this Yuga, though there are a lot of imperfection, there is one guna in this Yuga. What is it? In this Yuga, no sadhana is possible, but just by chanting Bhagavan's name, a person can get moksha. Here, in this age, the spiritual progress is very fast. Bhakti, through bhakti alone, a person can realize the truth. So because this progress is very fast in Kali Yuga, therefore Parikshit For the sake of all devotees, spiritual people, he spared Kali. So up to this we had seen. Now the question comes, a very beautiful discussion comes now. Why is it that sadhana in Kali Yuga, although so many sadhanas are mentioned in the scriptures, why these sadhanas are not effective in Kali Yuga? What is the problem with Kali Yuga? So, some few verses are there which are very beautiful. Kukarma charanat sarah sarvato nirgato dhuna padartha samsthita bhumau bijahina stushayatha. Everything becomes essenceless in Kali Yuga. Why is it so? It is because of kukarma acharanat. There is something to be done, but when it is done in a wrong way, the effect is nullified. That sara goes away. The effect goes away, the benefit goes away. Some examples are given. For example, satsang. Satsang is a very good means for spiritual progress. But what happens in Kali Yuga? Viprair bhagavati varta gehe gehe jane jane karita kanalo bhena katha sarastato gataha. In Kali Yuga, how does these people do katha or satsang? They do it. Gehe gehe jane jane vipraihi brahmanas. They do this Bhagavati katha only. Bhagavata saptaham only they do. But the problem is karita kanalobhena. With the greed for money, they do this. And therefore what happens? Katha saraha tato gataha. That benefit goes away. With what attitude should katha be done, satsang should be done? The attitude should be with the attitude of devotion. So the speaker should speak with devotion. Speaker should have only one intention in mind. Whoever are the listeners, let them all grow spiritually. In Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, they must grow. With this pure intention, the speaker must speak. The speaker must speak as a part of sadhana. I am speaking, I am explaining this for my own spiritual growth and for the spiritual growth of the listeners. If with this pure attitude, with this pure intention, when katha is done, when satsang is done, then both of them are benefited. But what happens is, in Kali Yuga, people do Bhagavata katha, everything is done, but the purpose of doing it is only greed for money. Then what happens? The benefit is not achieved. In this way, Tirtha Kshetra visiting the pilgrimage places, it is a very, very effective means of purification. Tirtha Kshetras, places of pilgrimage, we must visit. But then what happens in Kali Yuga? Atyugra bhuri karmanah nastika rauravajanaah tepi tishthanti tirtheshu tirthasarastato gataha. Tirtha Kshetra, when you visit, there is this holy place. There is a history for that Tirtha Kshetra. So you must read that history also. So with that sanctified mind, you must go there. And generally in Tirtha Kshetra, there are sadhu, sannyasis, saints, sages. Go to them, serve them, listen to satsang. This is how you must spend your time. But the problem in Kali Yuga is all these Tirtha Kshetras, what happened is, it is written here, Nastikaha Raurava Janaha. In Kali Yuga, such people occupy the places of pilgrimage. Who are they? Nastika. Nastika means atheists, people who don't have any faith. And then it is written, Raurava Janaha Atyugra Bhuri Karmanaha. People who do criminal activities, who are fit only for Raurava. Raurava is a hell. People who are fit only for hell, such uncultured, inferior people, they occupy these Tirtha Kshetras. Now, whom are they referring to? It can be the pujaris, the priest class. They are doing puja, but what is their intention? Money. Whoever is a rich person, quick darshan, comfortable darshan, proper darshan, whoever gives lot of money, he does this, he becomes partial and all kinds of things. We all know what happens. Look at what is written there. They are the people fit for only hell. It doesn't matter whether they know all these Veda mantras by heart and all. How does it matter? If your intention is impure, then karma is impure. Such an impure karma is called papa karma. And the result of papa karma is only hell. Raurava Hajana. So one class may be pujari class. Another class may be the people who are sitting in front of this temple, the beggars, etc. By looking at them itself, they are Raurava Jana only. They make the mind impure. In those days, these beggars never used to sit anywhere near the temple. Temple is meant for a purpose. People go there for peace of mind, for purity of mind, for meditation, etc. The sanctity of a temple should be maintained. That is not the place for the beggars to beg. Those people can be referred here. Or one more category is there. Nowadays what happens is, all these places of pilgrimage, it has become a center for a lot of money. Because people give lot of dakshina there. So then what happens? The government starts putting there. Because wherever there is too much of money, government is there. Government means what? Politicians. So who are these politicians? They don't have any Shraddha Bhakti. So that is why Nastika term is used there. People who have no faith in God, they are seeing only the money. Lot of money is coming in the temple. So then what they do? They put one representative there to ensure that all the money are taken away. Raurava Hajana. So such people, when they occupy Tirtha Kshetras, the sanctity of the place goes away. This is what happens in Kali Yuga. So this is about Tirtha Kshetra. Then, Dhyanam. Why is it that when we meditate, that result of meditation we don't get? So a beautiful verse is said here. Manasascha jaya lobhat dambhat pakhanda samshrayat shastranabhyasanat chaiva Dhyana yoga phalam gatam. Dhyana yoga phalam gatam. If you do this meditation, if you do meditation with this attitude, with this state of mind, you are not going to get the result of meditation. What state of mind? Manasascha jayat. Manasascha ajayat. There is no mastery over the mind. With such an indisciplined, impure mind, if you meditate, meditation will have no result. Lobhat, greed for something, attachment to something. When the mind is attached to something of the world, the mind will go only towards such things, beings and situations. Such a mind is not available for dhyanam. Lobhat, dambhat. If meditation is done with dambha, dambha means what? Hypocrisy, show off, To show off others, I am meditating. Padmasana, I am sitting so that others will say, oh my God, look at this man sitting in Padmasana. She must be a great yogi. So just to show off, if you meditate, dhyana phalam gatam. Pakhanda samsrayat. Pakhanda means no faith in God. Without any faith in God, if you sit for meditation, that meditation is not going to give you any result. And then Shastra Anabhyasanat. Shastra Anabhyasanat. People who have no idea about the scriptures, without the study of the scriptures, you are sitting and meditating. What will you meditate? So right understanding also is necessary. So study of the scriptures is absolutely essential. Dhyanam doesn't mean just close your eyes and sit and just watch your breath. That is not dhyanam. Proper understanding has to be there. And this is what happens in Kali Yuga. People sit for meditation without proper preparation, without right knowledge, and therefore they don't get proper results for meditation. In this way, every sadhana by itself is perfect. But when you are not doing that sadhana properly, you don't get the result. In the same way, tapas, kama krodha mahalobha trishna vyakula chetasah tepi tishthanti tapasi tapassarastato gatah. Tapas, austerity, any kind of sadhana, if it is done with kama, lust, krodha, anger, mahalobha, greed, trishna, vyakula chetasa, with a mind which is disturbed by various kinds of cravings. See, with such a disturbed mind, if you do any sadhana in general, then you are not going to get any result. And this is what happens in Kali Yuga. So therefore, who is speaking to whom now? Remember this, Narji is speaking to Bhakti Mata. So this is the state of affairs in Kali Yuga. Ayam tu yuga dharmo hi vartate kasya dushanam atastu pundarikakshaha sahate nikate sthitaha. Ayam tu yuga dharma. This is yuga dharma. Nothing can be done. Nobody can be blamed. This is yuga dharma. And what is that Bhagavan doing? Nikate sthitaha. He is there very, very close to us. Sahate. He is just Sahate means sahana means what? Tolerating. Atastu pundarikaksha. You see the name used. Pundarikaksha means the lotus-eyed one. The most compassionate Bhagavan, he also is helpless. Because this person never turns towards him. He has no faith in him. And now he is suffering. Bhagavan is also helpless. What is the helplessness of Bhagavan? As long as the devotee never turns towards Bhagavan, Bhagavan cannot do anything. This is the helplessness of the Lord. Exactly like when a person is drowning, you want to help that person, but you are helpless if that person doesn't give the hand. Isn't it? You want to help, but that person also should cooperate with you. In the same way, Bhagavan with his infinite compassion is ever ready to help everyone. But the problem is this person has no faith in God. That is the nature of Kali Yuga. And therefore that person is suffering. And Bhagavan, being the Sakshi in that person, is helplessly looking at him suffering. Sahate. This is what happens in Kali Yuga. There is so much of suffering, but Bhagavan is helpless because people have no faith. Bhakti Mata heard all this. She was so happy. She said, Surarshe tvam hi dhanyosi madbhagyena samagataha sadhunam darshanam loke sarvasiddhikaram param. Hey Surarshe, hey Devarshe, dhanyosi, I'm blessed because I came in contact with you. Sadhunam darshanam sarvasiddhikaram. The very vision of sadhu, saintly people, it fulfills all our desires. Jayati jagati mayam yasya kayadhavaste vachana rachanamekam kevalam chakalayya dhruvapadamapi yato yat krupato dhruvoyam sakala kushala patram brahmaputram natasmi. My prostration unto you, O Brahmaputra, son of Brahmaji. Sakala kushala patram, an embodiment of all auspiciousness. No wonder why that even Prahalada was able to cross over Maya because of your contact. Dhruva was able to go to Dhruvaloka, almost impossible, all because of you. No wonder that you are such an amazing person. Then Naradji said, Hey Bhakti Devi, give up all your sorrows. Vritha khedayase bale aho chintatura katham Shri Krishna charanam bhojam smara dukkham gamishyati. All your sorrows are misplaced. Give up all your sorrows, worries, anxieties. What you have to do is Shri Krishna charanam bhojam smara. Remember the lotus feet of the Lord. Dukkham gamishyati. All your sorrows will end. This is the only thing you need to do. Remember the Lord. You are miserable because you have forgotten the Lord. Oh Bhakti Mata, you are not an ordinary lady. Now Narada Rishi, with his insight, he is clearly able to see who this Bhakti Mata is. And then Narada Rishi tells something which even Bhakti Mata herself doesn't know. Tvam tu bhaktif priyatasya satatam pranatodhika Tvaya hustastu bhagavan yati nicha gruheshvapi. Oh Bhakti, do you know who you are? You are extremely dear to the Lord. In fact, Bhagavan loves you much more than his own life. Pranataha adhika. Bhagavan loves you. In fact, Tvaya ahutaha tu Bhagavan yati nicha griheshu api. If you call Bhagavan, Bhagavan will go even to a person who is very inferior, even to his house, Bhagavan will go. That much he loves you. What does it mean? What it means is, if an inferior person, Mahapapi, also calls Bhagavan with all devotion, then he experiences Bhagavan in his heart. So how beautiful it is put, you see. Bhagavan loves you so much that even if an inferior person, if you call Bhagavan remaining in an inferior person's house, Bhagavan will come rushing. That much he loves you. You know why he loves you so much? Listen. Satyadi triyuge bodha vairagyau mukti sadhakau kalau tu kevala bhakti brahma sayujyakarini. In all the other yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Bodha and Vairagya, Jnana, Vairagya, they are the means for mukti. But in Kali Yuga, Kevala Bhakti Brahma Sayujyakarini. This one thing alone will lead you to that supreme truth. So knowing this, what did Bhagavan do? Iti nischitya chidrupah sadrupam tvam sasarjah paramananda chinmurtihi sundarim krishna vallabham. Knowing this, Bhagavan, he created you specifically for Kali Yuga. How did he create? He created from his own image, his own nature. What is Bhagavan's nature? Satchit Ananda. So it is said here, Bhagavan created Bhakti Mata out of Satchidananda, out of his own nature. And therefore you are so beautiful, Sundarim, Krishna Vallabham, you are so dear to Bhagavan. All these points, remember, we are going to discuss. Okay? Bhakti, it is said, is that emotion which is created by Bhagavan himself, out of his own nature. And then what happened? Badhvanjalim tvaya prishtam kim karomiti chaikada tvam tadatnyapayat krishnaha madbhaktan poshayeti cha. So when you were created by the Lord, you stood in front of the Lord. Then you asked, "Oh Lord, what am I supposed to do? What is my role? Why did you create me?" Then Bhagavan said, "Mad bhaktan poshaya." You nourish my devotees. This is your job. Bring my devotees to me. Nourish their heart with devotion. Then what did you do? Angikritam tvaya tadvai prasanno bhut haristada muktim dasim dadau tubhyam jnana vairagya kavimau. And when Bhagavan saw that you readily agreed, without questioning, without complaining, seeing your loving obedience, Bhagavan was so happy that he gave one servant maid to you. Who is that servant maid? Muktim dasim dada. That Bhagavan was so happy with bhakti that Bhagavan gave mukti as dasi. Mukti means liberation. Liberation is a dasi, a servant maid of bhakti. Okay. And then Jnana Vairagya Kavimau, and two sons, capable sons. Who are they? Jnana and Vairagya. So Bhagavan blessed Bhakti Mata with two sons, Jnana and Vairagya, and a servant maid, Mukti. See how beautifully the highest philosophy is put in the form of a story. They are all subjective truths, which we will see later. Poshanam svena rupena vaikunthe tvam karoshi cha bhumau bhakta viposhaya chaya rupam tvaya kritam. So your permanent residence is in Vaikuntha only. So in Vaikuntha you remain, nourishing all the devotees. But then to nourish the devotees who are living upon earth, Bhuloka, you took the form of a shadow and you came here. Chaya rupam tvaya kritam. So what is this rupam? It is not the Nija rupam. It is only a shadow. Oh Bhakti Mata, you say that I was born in Dravida and raised in Karnataka. No, you don't know who you are. Your real nature is in Vaikuntha. This is just a shadow. But you have come here in order to nourish the devotees living here. Muktim jnanam viraktim cha Sahakritva gata bhuvi kritadidvaparasyantam mahanandena samsthita. So Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, you lived very happily along with your children. And all the, Dasi also, all of you were very happy. But Kalo Mukti Kshayam Prapta Pakhandamaya Pidita Tvadatnyaya Gata Shrighram Vaikuntham Punarevasa. But when Kali Yuga came, Mukti Kshayam Prapta. This Mukti, the servant maid, what happened to her? She became very weak and infirm because of this pakhanda, atheism, etc. And Tvat Atneya Gata Shighram. She took permission from you and immediately left back to Vaikuntha. This is what has happened. But whenever you remember, she comes back. Whenever you remember her, she comes. But she said that I can't stay here. My health gets upset. And now you three are here. And this is the condition of Jnana Vairagya. And this is your condition. Upekshatah kalau mandau vruddhau jatau sutau tava tathapi chintam munchatvam upayam chintayamyaham. So because in Kali Yuga, people have completely ignored Jnana and Vairagya, that is why they are old, infirm, weak, unconscious. But then, don't worry, I will do something. What is needed is, bhakti has to be intensified. So therefore, I will do this. I take this as my mission of life. What is it? A very famous verse. Kalina sadrishah kopi yugo nasti varanane tasmin stvam sthapayishyami gehe gehe jane jane. There is no other age superior to Kali. Because in this age, spiritual progress is fast. So therefore, tasmin stvam, therefore, I will establish you. Tvam sthapayishyami. Gehe gehe jane jane. In every house I will establish you. In the heart of everyone I will establish you. This I promise. Anya dharman stiraskritya puraskritya mahotsavan tadanaham harer dasah loke tvam na pravartaye. I am not a Haridasa if I don't do this. I am not a true devotee of God if I don't do this. Therefore, anya dharman stiraskritya, every other activity, I am going to keep it aside. I am going to take this as the main mission. Establishing devotion in the hearts of everyone. Because I understand that if bhakti is there, everything is there. So the one thing to be done is inculcating devotion in the hearts of all towards God. This will solve all problems. Tvadanvitascha ye jivaha bhavishyanti kalaviha papinopi gamishyanti nirbhayam krishna mandiram. Oh Bhakti, when you are there, united with an individual, such a person, even though he may be the greatest papi, sinner, gamishyanti nirbhayam krishna mandiram. He will go to the abode of God without any kind of fear. That is the glory of bhakti. Yesham chitte vased bhakti sarvada prema rupini nate pashyanti kinasham swapnepyamalamurtayah. Those people who have this bhakti in their heart, nate pashyanti kinasham, they will not even have that what you call, they will never have to encounter Yamaraj. Meaning what? That fear of death will completely go away. That is the glory. Even in their dream, they will not have any kind of fear. For those people who have purified their heart with bhakti, that is the glory of bhakti. Na preto na pishacho va rakshaso va suropi va bhakti yukta manaskanam sparshanena prabhur bhavet. All these preta, pishacha, rakshasa, asura, they can't even touch a person whose heart is filled with bhakti. Nranam janma sahasrena bhaktau pritir hi jayate kalau bhaktihi bhaktya krishnah purasthitah. Actually, this bhakti, janma sahasrena, out of a lot of punya done in so many thousands of births, this bhakti emerges in the heart of a person. So therefore, in this Kali Yuga, kalau bhaktihi. And what happens when bhakti comes? Bhaktya Krishna purastitaha. Just like you clearly see a person who is standing in front, in the same way a person who has bhakti in his heart, he sees Bhagavan, he experiences Bhagavan very, very clearly. Alam vrateir alam tirthehi, alam yogeir alam makhehi, alam jnana kathalapaihi, bhakti rekaiva muktida. Enough of all other sadhanas. Alam means enough. Alam vratehi, all those vratas, vows. Alam tirthehi, enough of tirtha kshetra gamana. Alam yogehi, stop all yogas. Alam makhehi, all those ritualistic sacrifices. Alam jnana katha alapaihi, enough of all these dry knowledge discussions. Bhakti rekeva muktida. Bhakti is the one thing which is going to give mukti. And when Naraji was praising bhakti, what happened to bhakti? She is right there in front. Who will not like praise? Iti narada nirnitam swamahatmyam nishamyasa. When she heard her own glory, she herself did not know her glory. When she heard this, sarvanga pushti sanyukta, all her limbs became firm, beautiful. This is what happened. She came back to her true self, not sad, weak, old, no. She literally came back to her true self. And then she was so happy. Then she spoke these words. Aho narada dhanyosi pritiste mai nischala na kadachit vimunchami chitte sthasyami sarvada. Oh Narada Rishi, you have so much of love for me. I will ever remain in your heart. I will never leave your heart. This is my promise. But please do something also. Krupaluna tvaya sadho madbadha dhvamsitakshanat putrayos-chetana nasti tato bodhaya. See, now I am okay now. I have came back to my original self. But my children, mothers are always worried about children only. Hey sadhu, you have destroyed all my afflictions in a moment's notice, but putrayos chetana nasi, my children, 2 children, they are lying down there unconscious. Tato bodhaya, please do something for my children. Tasya vachas samakarnya karunyam narado gatah tayor bodhanamarebhe karagrena vimardayan. Listening to these words of Bhakti Mata, Naraji's heart was filled with compassion for these two. So what did he do? Tayor bodhanam ariv. He tried to wake them up. Karagrena vimardayan. Mardayan means beating. Not solid beating. Just, tapping on the cheek, we can say. Hey, come on. Get up. Mukham sanyojya karnante. Shabdamuchchai samucharan. Jnana prabudhyatam shighram. Re Vairagya prabudhyatam. So what did he do? He kept his mouth near the ears of Jnana and Vairagya. Shabdam uchchai samucharan. And loudly he said, Hey Jnana, prabudhyatam, shigram, get up, hey Vairagya, get up. No effect. Veda Vedanta ghoshescha Gita pathair muhurmuhu bodhyamano tadatena kathanchit chottithau balat. Then what did he do? He started chanting Veda mantras. Then Vedanta Ghosha, Upanishad mantras. Then what? Gita Patam, Bhagavad Gita also is chanted. Again and again, Muhur Muhu. Just like that, they press the chest, when that fellow is lying down. So loudly he started chanting these mantras from the Upanishads, slokas from Bhagavad Gita. At that time, bodhyamano, they just came back to consciousness. Kathanchitcha uthitau balat. With great effort they got up. Netreranavalokanto jrumbhanto salasavubhau bhagavat palitau prayah shushka kashthas samangakau. But though they were able to sit, netrehi anavalokanto, they were not even able to open their eyes. Why? Alasyam, too much of laziness, that sleepy feeling. Tamas, jrumbhantau, they were yawning. Bhagavat palitau prayah, their hairs were as white as a crane bird. The hair, grey. And then, Shushka Kashta Samangakau, their body had become stiff. Like a dry wood. So they were sitting, okay, but they were not even able to open their eyes. Constantly yawning. The body had become stiff. And Kshutkshamo tau nuriksheva punaswapa parayano Rishis chintaparo jatah kim vidheyam mayeti cha. Both of them were extremely exhausted, tired, become weak because of hunger and thirst. And then they again went back to sleep. Swapa Parayan. Sometimes small children also, you wake up, the fellow is like this and again goes back. So, these Jnana and Vairagya again went back to sleep. And this Rishi started thinking, what can I do now? I have tried my level best. What can I do? Aho nidra katham yati vruddhatvam cha mahattaram Chintayanniti govindam smarayamasa bhargava. So now Naradji was worried. He was anxious how to wake them up. I have used all my whatever I knew. So then when he was totally helpless, what did he do? Govindam smarayamasa. That is the ultimate refuge to everyone. Remember the Lord. Bhagavan, save me. What am I supposed to do? You see, all Mahatmas, what they do? Whenever they are in trouble, remember the Lord. And whenever, you will always find in all scriptures, whenever this verse comes, that a devotee from the depth of the heart is remembering the Lord, something will happen in the next verse itself. And this is true in our life also. What is the mistake we do? We delay this. We think that I can solve all problems. And then when we are stuck from all directions, that is the time when we remember God. And then Naradji remembered the Lord. Then what happened? Vyomavani tadaiva bhut marushe khidyatamiti udyamas safalastheyam bhavishyati na samshayah. At that time came a Vyomavani, Ashariri, a voice from heaven. What did he say? Hey Rishe, ma khidyatam. Don't worry. Udyamaha safalaha. Te udyamaha safal. Definitely you will succeed. No doubt about it. Etadartham tu satkarma surarshe tvam samachara tatte karma bhidasyanti sadhavas sadhu bhushanah. You have to do one satkarma. This is what you have to do. All your problems will be solved. You have to do this one satkarma. What is that satkarma? Tatte karma bhidasyanti sadhavaha sadhu bhushanah. The sages will guide you in this. Those sages who are sadhu bhushanah, they are the very ornaments. Among the sages, these sages will guide you. Satkarmani krite tasmin sanidra vruddhatanayo gamishyati kshanad bhakti sarvatah prasarishyati. And the moment you do this sarkarma, this Jnana and Vairagya, they will come back to their normal self. Old age will go away, weakness will go away, sleep will go away, everything will be fine, and bhakti will be spread all over. But you have to do this satkarma, and the sages will tell you what that satkarma is. Ityakashavacha spashtam tat sarvairapi vishrutam narado vismayam lebhe nedam jñatamiti bruvan. This Akashavani, everybody heard. Whoever was there, all of them heard this. It is not that only Naradji heard this. Everybody heard. But then Naradji was completely confused. What is the reason for confusion? Anayakashavanyapi gopyatvena nirupitam kim va tat sadhanam karyam yena karyam bhavetayoh kva bhavishyanti santaste katham dasyanti sadhanam mayatra kim prakartavyam yaduktam vyoma bhashaya. And the Vyomavani stopped. So now Naradji was confused. What is that satkarma? And who are those sages? That also is not mentioned. And what is the sadhana which they are going to give? That also is not mentioned. What am I supposed to do? That is also not mentioned. So there is lot of lack of clarity in this message. So our Naradji was completely confused. The Vyomavani said, there is a satkarma to be done, and the sages will tell you what to do. But how to meet those sages? It was not mentioned. So Naradji was confused. So then Naradji decided. What did he decide? Let me go to all the Tirtha Kshetras. Remember that. Now we are connecting now. That is why Naradji went to all the Tirtha Kshetras. Tatra dvavapi samsthapya nirgato narado munihi tirtham tirtham vinishkramya prichan marge munishwaran. So now where do you find all these sages, saints, etc.? You will find them only in Tirtha Kshetra. So therefore Naradji thought, let me go to different Tirtha Kshetras and ask them. So he left both of them there, all the three of them there. He left to these Tirtha Kshetras. Tirtham tirtham vinishkramya. Maybe some sage will say, oh, I was waiting for you. This is the Satkarma. So he started going to different Tirtha Kshetras. Vrittanta shruyate sarvaihi kinchin nischitya nochyate asadhyam kechana prochuhu durgneyamiti chapare muki bhutastathanyeto kiyantastu palaitah. So he went to these Tirtha Kshetras and mentioned this to all those sages there. Some of them said asadhyam. Some others said durgneyam, impossible, it cannot be known. Some others, they remained quiet. Some others, when this question was put, they felt their ego hurt. Many times you ask a question and when you don't know the answer, some people feel their ego hurt. What do? Palaita. Hahakaro mahanasit trailoke vismayavaha Veda Vedanta ghoshescha Gita pater vibodhitam. And there was a commotion in the three worlds. Hahakara. Oh my God! Unbelievable! What? Veda Vedanta ghoshehi Gita patehi. Vedanta has been chanted, Upanishad chanting over, Bhagavad Gita chanting over. Even then, Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Nodatishtatrikam Yada. That this Jnana and Vairagya did not get up. This was a shocking news in the three worlds. Upayo na parostiti karne karne japanjana. If this is the case, then I don't think there is any other way. In this way, all these people were whispering. Yogina naradenapi swayam nat jnayate tu yat tat katham shakyate vaktum itareiriha manushehi. Sakshat Narad Rishi himself is not able to decipher what this Akashavani is. Then who else is left? Because Narad Rishi is considered to be number one, one of the greatest devotees of the Lord. He himself is confused. He is not able to understand what that Akashavani is. Then who can help him? This way people were talking to each other. They said, this is impossible. Tataschintaturasotha badarivanamagataha tapascharami chatreti tadartham kritanishchayah tavaddadarsha puratah sanakadin munishwaran koti surya samabhasa anuvacha munisattamah. So then Narad Rishi, now he speaks to, actually he is only speaking the whole thing. So this way people were saying, I am really worried. He is speaking to whom? Sanakadi Rishis. So he has come from all those Pushkara, Prayaga, Harikshetra, Kurukshetra, everything, and he was rushing towards some place. So it was at that time that Sanakadi Rishis asked. So then Narad Rishi says, I am really worried. Now I have decided one thing, I will do tapas. And therefore, I am going to Badrika Ashrama to do my tapas. It is at this time that I met all of you. And then Naradji said to all these Rishis, what did he say? Oh Rishi, please guide me if you can. Because I am sure you are capable of guiding me, because you are not ordinary people. Bhavanto yoginas sarve buddhimanto bahushrutaah panchahayana samyuktaah purvesham api purvajaah. You people are all buddhimantah, extremely wise, well learned. Though you look like small children, panchahayana samyuktaah. What is their age? 5 years. Pancha. So this Sanakadi Rishis, they always appear to be children of 5 years. So though you look like small children, I know you are purvesham api purvajaah. In fact, they are even elder to Naradji. In the initial creation, Brahmaji created them. So that is why purvesham api purvajaah. The most ancient people you are, though you look like newborn babies, it is not true. So therefore, and what is your nature? Sada Vaikuntha Nilaya Hari Kirtana Tatparah Leelamrita Rasonmattah Katha Matraika Jivanah. Sada Vaikuntha Nilaya, always remaining in Vaikuntha. Hari Kirtana Tatparah, always engaged in singing the glories of the Lord. Leelamrita Rasonmattah, intoxicated. Intoxicated by the rasa of the Amrita of Leela. So they always discuss the Leelas of the Lord, and that is for them Amrita, and they thoroughly relish it, enjoy it, and thus get intoxicated by it. That is the nature of, Sanakadi Rishis. Katha matraika jivanaha. In life they do only one thing. What is that? Bhagavan's Katha Shravanam. Remember, Katha Shravanam means what? Abidance in the self. Never forget this. Not some Katha they are listening, not like that. Every time they are listening to a Katha, they know that Lord is a self in me. That is called as, in the modern language, living in the present, here and now. That's very dry. Katha matraika jivana. Ever remembering Lord, mind rooted in God. That is their state. Harisharanamevam hi nityam yesham mukhe vachah atah kala samadishta jarayushman badhyate. All the time upon their tongue, Harisharanam, Harisharanam, Harisharanam. They constantly do the japa of the Lord. And therefore, because they are always meditating upon that immortal Lord, Ataha Jara Yushman Nabadhyate. Therefore, this old age doesn't affect you. You meditate upon the immortal, you become immortal. To such an extent that the body also, that is your nature. Esham bhru bhanga matrena dwarapalau haref pura bhumau nipatitau sadyo yat krupatah puram gato. Such is the power, such is your glory, that once bhru bhanga matrena. Bhru means eyebrow. Bhangam means what? When it got little twisted. Just by the twist of your eyebrow, quivering of your eyebrow, Dwara Palakas, who? Jaya Vijaya, bhumau nipatitau. A little anger of yours, and the two guardians of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, they had to come to this world and become asuras. What are the three births they had to take? Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. And you can see the power of these asuras. In that you can measure how much great devotees they were. Devotion became completely hatred. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Third one, Shishupala and Dantavakra. So just a quiver of your eyebrow, a little of your anger, and those Jaya Vijayas had to take three births. But finally, by your grace, Yat Kripataha Puram Gatav, they went back. Such is your glory, such is your power. Aho bhagyasya yogena darshanam bhavatamiha anugrahastu kartavyah maidine dayapare. I am so fortunate that I met such sages. So therefore, please bless me. Please bless this Deena, helpless. Oh compassionate ones, please bless this helpless one, meek one. Asharira giroktam yat kim sadhana mucyatam tat kim sadhana mucyatam anushteyam katham tavat prabruvantu savistaram. Please tell me, what does that Akashvani mean? And what is that sadhana they were talking of? That Ashariri was talking of? What am I supposed to do? Please guide me. How can I bring this Jnana Vairagya back? So Naradji this way requested Sanakadi Rishis. What did Sanakadi Rishis say? Mam chinta kuru devarshe harsha chitte samavaha upaya sukha sadhyotra vartate purva evahi. Oh Rishi, don't worry, the solution is very simple. Upaya sukha sadhya, it's a very simple thing. In fact, you already know it also. Because Naradji, you are not an ordinary person. So first Naradji praised Sanakadi Rishi. Now Sanakadi Rishi starts praising Naradji. Aho Narada dhanyosi viraktanam shiromanihi sada Sri Krishna dasanam agranir yoga bhaskaraha. Hey Narada, indeed blessed you are, because you are viraktanam shiromani. Shiromani means crest jewel. Viraktanam, among all the dispassionate ones, you are the crest jewel. Sada Sri Krishna dasanam agranihi. Your name comes first as the devotee of Bhagavan. And yoga bhaskara you are. Yoga bhaskara means what? Bhaskara means sun. So when the sun rises, you don't see anything on that sky. You don't see the moon, you don't see stars. Sun dominates the sky. In the same way, in the path of yoga, oh Narada Rishi, you are like Bhaskara, that sun, yoga Bhaskara. Tvai chitram namantavyam bhaktyartham anuvartini ghatate Krishna dasasya bhakte samsthapana sada. So therefore there is absolutely no wonder that you are putting forth effort in establishing devotion in the hearts of all. No wonder that you are worried about the welfare of others. There is no wonder, because such is your nature. The more and more the heart becomes pure, the more and more you want to do good to others. That's a sign of purity of mind. Impure mind, that person thinks of only his welfare. Pure mind, they think of the welfare of all. And they suffer for the welfare of all. So there is absolutely no wonder that you are running around for the welfare of all. This is what is expected of a devotee of the Lord. Now listen. Rishibhir bahavo loke panthanah prakatikritaah Shramasādhyāscha te sarve prāyasvarga phalapradaah. In this world there are so many sadhanas mentioned by so many rishis. But all these sadhanas are Sramasadhya. A lot of effort is involved. And Prayaha Swarga Phalaprada. At the most you get Swarga. That's all. There are so many sadhanas there in this world. It gives you only Swargam. Vaikuntha sadhagas panthaha satu gopyo hi vartate. But the path which takes you to Vaikuntha, liberation, that remains secret only. Gopya vartate. Tasyopadeshta purushaha. A person who can lead us into that path. Prayo bhagyena labhyate. A person gets only by good fortune. Not everybody gets. There are so many paths taking to Swargaloka, but the path leading to Vaikuntha, liberation, is a very rare path, and to get a person who takes us there, it's very rare. You need to have lot of bhagyam. That person should be really fortunate to get such a person. Satkarma tava nirdishtam vyoma vachatu yatpura taduchyate shrunushvadya sthirachittas prasannadhi. Now I will tell you that Satkarma which that Akashavani has told. Listen carefully. Dravya yajñās tapo yajñāh yoga yajñās tatha pare swadhyāya jñāna yajñāscha te tu karma visuchakāh. Have you heard of this verse anywhere? Which chapter? 4th chapter. First 3 quarters are the same. Dravya yajñās tapo yajñāh yoga yajñās tatha pare swadhyāya jñāna yajñāscha. Up to this it is the same. The next quarter is yatayah samshita vrata. So literally that verse from Bhagavad Gita is quoted here. But the last quarter is different. Yetu karma visuchaka. All the sadhanas that are mentioned in this world, what are they? Dravya yajña, dhanam, charity. Tapo yajña, various kinds of austerity. Yoga yajña, all kinds of paths of yogas. Swadhyaya jnana yajña, chanting the scriptures, parayanam of the scriptures and all that. They are all karma visuchakaha. What does it mean? All the sadhana you do, they are all karmas, but that sadhana is not going to remove the ego. The more you do, the more you feel, oh, I am a great devotee, I am a great sadhaka. So what is happening? Your own sadhana is binding you. The sense of individuality is not gone. Ye to karma visuchaka. No doubt it is a sadhana, but the real problem still remains. What is the problem? Ego is the problem. And therefore, satkarma suchako nunam jnana yajña smrito budhai. there can be only one Satkarma, highest Satkarma. Wise people are unanimous in this. And what is that Satkarma? Jnana Yajna. What is Jnana Yajna? That what Chinmaya mission does. What else? That Akashavani said, no, do one Satkarma. This is that. Jnana Yajna. Because all the problem in our life is because of what? Ajnana. And how does that Ajnana express itself? Ignorance of one's own self. So if ignorance of one's own self is the problem, what should be the solution? Knowledge of one's own self. That should be that Satkarma. Now see that Akashavani. What did Akashavani say? You have to do one Satkarma and the wise sages will tell you. Who are these wise sages? None other than Sanakadi Rishis. And what is that Satkarma? Jnana Yajna is the Satkarma. How to do Jnana Yajna? Srimad Bhagavatham alapaha Satu Gita Shukadivihi. Jnana Yajna should be done using Srimad Bhagavatham. Bhakti Jnana Vairagyanam Tadghoshena Balam Mahat Vrajishyati Dvayo Kashtam Sukham Bhaktir Bhavishyati. So when this Jnana Yajna is done with keeping Srimad Bhagavatam as the text, it has tremendous power because it is filled with Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. All the problems of Jnana and Vairagya Bhakti will be solved. Pralayam higamishyanti Srimad Bhagavata dhvanehi Kaler dosha ime sarve simha shabdat vrika iva. Just like when a lion roars and all these fox, the hyenas, all of them run away from there. In the same way, when Srimad Bhagavata dhvani comes, when Bhagavatam roars, all these evils of Kali will run away. So then Naradji had a question. I am sure some of you must be having that question. If you are not having that question, you are not properly listening. What is that question? Veda Vedanta Ghoshaischa Gita Pathaiv Prabodhitam Bhakti Jnana Vairagyanam Nodatistatrikam Yada Srimad Bhagavata Tat Katham Bodhameshyati Tat Kathasu tu Vedartha Shloke Shloke Pade Pade. Got the question? Oh Rishi, I don't understand. You said Jnana Yajna will solve the problem. Jnana Yajna means what? Jnanam. I have already chanted Upanishads. I have already chanted Bhagavad Gita. In fact, Bhagavatam is nothing but the essence of these Vedanta. Every sloka, every pada of Bhagavatam is nothing but the essence of this Vedanta and Gita only. In what way is Bhagavatam different then? problem is not solved by Vedanta and Gita, how can that problem be solved by Bhagavatam? Chindantu samshayam henam bhavanto mogha darshana vilambo natra kartavya sharanagata vatsala. O Rishi, please clear this doubt of mine. Did you have this doubt? If you had this doubt, very good. So then the Rishis answer. Vedopanishadam sarat jata bhagavati katha atyuttama tato bhati prutak bhuta phalakritihi amulagram rasastishtan astena swadyate yatha sabhuyas sampratak bhutah phale vishwamanoharah. O Rishi, what you are saying is right. But listen, I will give you an example. See, there is a mango tree. Okay? And from that mango tree comes a very sweet, juicy, ripe mango. So what is this mango? Nothing but the essence of the tree. So now if you say, okay, anyway both are one and the same, I will taste the tree. You cut a bark and eat it, the branch. What will you get the taste of the mango? So therefore please understand, no doubt, Bhagavatam, the essence is coming from Vedanta. Essence is coming from Gita, no doubt about it. But the presentation is very juicy, tasty, sweet. As far as the content is concerned, content is the same. It is nothing but the message of the Vedas, the Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita. But the way it is presented, exactly like a mango tree, it brings out its essence in such a way that the final product is so sweet. Yes or no? In the same way, Bhagavatam brings the same essence of the Vedas, but in a very attractive way. Through soul captivating stories. This is the difference. Got it? Yatha dugdhe sthitam sarpin na swadayopakalpate prithak bhutam hitagavyam devanam rasavardhanam. You have this milk, then you bring out the essence of that milk, and finally you get ghee, the clarified butter, and it is this ghee you offer in the fire, and it is this ghee which the devatas love the most. You don't pour milk, you pour ghee. You see? But actually what is ghee? It is nothing but the essence of milk only. See how the properties change. Another example given is the sugar cane. The essence of the sugar cane comes out as that sweet juice. In the same way, this Bhagavatam is deliberately made sweet, deliberately made attractive, so that through this sweet way of presentation, through these soul-stirring stories, what also gets in? Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya also gets in. That is how this Bhagavata Shastram is designed. Listener is listening for stories, but unknowingly what also gets in? Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya also gets in. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Sammitam Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Sthapanaya Prakashitam. So therefore, this Bhagavatam, this Bhagavata Puranam is Brahma Samhitam. It is equivalent to, on par with the Vedas. Because the content is the same. But it is deliberately written, composed by Vedavyasa Rishi, especially for the people of Kali Yuga. Lot of spoon feeding has to be done. Because poor people in Kali Yuga, their minds are distracted. So that compassionate Rishi, Vedavyasa Rishi, of course, Shuka Brahma Rishi is the one who is giving. The composition is by Vedavyasa Rishi. So therefore, keeping such people in mind, this Bhagavatam is composed. So what is that Satkarma to be done? Jnana Yajna through Bhagavatam. And next the topic is how they conduct this Bhagavatam. And now as far as the symbolic story is concerned, that also we will see in detail. Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, mother, children, all that. That we will see tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kischit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.